Hello. Okay, guys. So, we're doing the 6-week challenge, and part of the challenge that we do now is I know you're not in the challenge. Listen to me anyway. Thanks. Part of what we do now in our challenges is every week I have everyone submit to me like a progress report, how they're doing, how they're feeling, what they feel like they did well, what they want to do even better on the next week, and then also any questions they have. So what I want to do for you guys, our members, is share the answers to some of these questions because I know that they'll help you too. And maybe you're thinking them, and so I want to share them with you. And then also, so that I'm going to start shooting videos more often. So when you do have questions, send me an email, send it to the TBT Fit Body Bootcamp service at hotmail.com. Put in the subject line, question for Rebecca, and then we'll create these videos on a regular basis to make sure, because if you're thinking it, someone else is too, I guarantee it, and then that way it helps all of us as a group grow and bond. All right, I know I'm a goofball today. It's my birthday, what can I say? All right, so one of the questions was the whole, is muscle weighing more than fat? Well, technically, no. I totally understand, and I think we've all been guilty of saying, yes, muscle weighs more than fat at certain points in time, but technically, no. Like a pound of muscle is a pound of fat. A pound is a pound, right? When you think about it that way, it makes sense. But the reason it seems that way is because a pound of muscle muscle tissue in general is super dense. Pound of muscle is about the size of a baseball. Pound of body fat is the size of an oversized grapefruit. Wow, big difference. Pound of muscle, pound of body fat. Huge difference, right? So that's why, especially when you get closer to your goals, although no matter where you're at in terms of if you still have 70 pounds to lose or if you only have 20 pounds to lose, this is exactly why, Missy and Mr., that I want you to be taking your pictures and making sure you do your monthly assessments and measurements and get them loaded on a fit clients. And we're working on that for you too. We have a team of people that are making sure that we're getting those loaded to fit clients right now. So even if you haven't been good about it in the past, we got you. We're getting them loaded for you. But make sure you're doing that every month, and definitely post progress pictures, because what I want you to focus on more than anything than the scale is how you feel. So many of you, I hear you and you'll be like, gosh, I have so much more energy, I feel good, I'm doing stronger, I get through the exercises more than I used to. It's always going to be hard, trust me. I went this morning, I still felt like I was going to die, and I've been doing this a long time now. So it's not like it's going to be easy, but you just feel more confident about what you're doing and the fact that you're dying. But take the pictures and pay attention to how you feel. And how your clothes are fitting. That is going to be the best indicator more than anything. So make sure you're doing that, okay? So that answers the question on muscle versus body fat. And then another question came up, what about muscle? And are we going to be building muscle? This is why. I think I've explained all this to you guys before. I know I have, but repetition is good. Muscle tissue is your active metabolic tissue, okay? It's always running. And we want to help you create more lean muscle, and that's what we're doing in boot camp every single day. Not bulky muscle, you do train differently for that, but just functioning muscle tissue to have more of that sleek look with some muscle tone, so you can see definition without feeling like you're bulky. I like my bulky, but I know you don't, and that's okay. Well, I mean, you might like it on me, but you don't necessarily want it for you. So the point of the lean muscle tissue is that's what drives your base metabolism, and that's our whole goal. That is why we do what we do, is to build your base metabolism. And one way we do that is by helping you create that lean muscle tissue. So that's why it's important. That's also why it's important that you get the right balance of foods. And so plug right here, it would be a really good idea for you to food journal for a little while and then set up a coaching call with me so that I can help you. You as a member get that. It's included. Use it. Nutrition is 80% of how you look and feel. So what you are or aren't doing in the nutrition department is super important. And some of you might feel like you got it on a good track, and you may, but it doesn't hurt to check in, right? That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for as a team, is to help you. All right, so let's see. The other thing was extra workout. So I think I've posted it before, but I'll repost it. Over the years, or whatever, there's a different resources. So you have the iPhone app. If you look on my YouTube channel, there are just Rebecca Tabbert. There's workout videos on there. I'm going to be posting more of those. So maybe if you subscribe to the channel, that would be probably the best way. I won't always load them to, or I could load them to this page, but probably subscribing to that channel would be the best, just in case I forget to send over a link or whatever. So those are great ways. We want you to be in boot camp. That's the reason we do boot camp, is because we know that that is what the research shows is going to be the best resource for you to getting you to your end goal. You do better in a group environment, you push harder in a group environment, and we need you to get there. But there's going to be days when you don't, and you just can't, and that's totally cool, and that's when you use the backup. I'll post a document. I've sent emails out over the years. In terms of workouts that you can do at home, I'll post a document of some workouts that are kind of all in one place. I do have a blog that has some back workouts, although we're in the process of really revamping that. I haven't actually even gone in that in a few months because I need to get it completely redone, but I'll keep you posted on that. That would be a great way. In fact, that's exactly where I want to be able to start storing like these recipes. Some of you are very, very creative, much more creative than I am, and you just have that knack for making all of these healthy foods taste super yummy, and it should. So we'll find a storage place for that in the blog as well. So all of that's up and coming. One of the other questions that I got this week is, and this is from someone that is pretty close to their goal, and of course I understand that we all have things that we want to work on, and so what is bothering this person in particular, and we have a few clients like this, is at this point they're so close, really the biggest difference for them is their tummy. Like that's just where they're carrying the extra, as they describe it, a pooch. So it's not like we're talking about they're closer to their goal, they're closer to the inches that they want to be. It's just now there's this section that's bugging them. And so this is what happens, and this is what I explained, is that when we are younger, we are like, as we're going through puberty and as we, go through our 20s and what have you, most women, literally attract the body fat. Their hormones have receptors. There's different hormones that work together, and their receptors for body fat is to hold the extra body fat in our butt, hips, and thighs. Kind of crazy that it's doing all of that just to help us prepare for childbirth. Crazy. The way how intricate our body is, right? But when our body decides, you may not need kids anymore, you might be past that age, it starts transferring, and this is why it's harder anyway, I don't want to go into that. So it starts transferring where those receptors are, so it literally sits in our abdomen area. So it's not like a lot of times I'll have people come in to me and they say, I never had a problem with my tummy before. It was always my butt, hips, and thighs, and now all of a sudden I just have this pooch I can't get rid of. Well, a lot of that has to do with hormones. And so one of the questions was, what kind of extra exercises can I do? Or is there crunches, blah, blah. It's not going to help. First of all, as you know, in our program, we stay away from crunches. We've made that transition over the last year because of just the research that I could not drown out anymore, because I'm total old school crunch addict, or used to be. And all this research that shows how bad that is for your back. And our goal is to get you fit and keep your body healthy at the same time, right? That's ultimately, we have one body that's going to last us in our 80s, 90s, and 100s, and we want to be rocking the body, maybe not looking exactly the same, but definitely as healthy and pain-free as possible, right? So we don't need to be adding complications to our backs now. So there's tons of things that you can do specifically for your abdomen area. But just so that you know, I know you don't realize it, but we actually are doing work on our core, an entire midsection, at every single camp. Like within the exercises we're doing, within every single workout session, we are working the core. Now, and then of course there's plank holds, there's side holds, there's all kinds of things that are a little bit more specific. I'll do another video for you guys on that. But even still, all of that is not going to help, because it's not that it's not going to help, but it's not going to just target your abdomen. You have muscle now. Like if you touch your belly and you push through, you've got muscle there now. It's already there. The difference is belly fat on top of it. And so one of the things that you may need for some assistance is something to help balance out the hormones. And so for that specifically, I definitely recommend the belly trim that we have, and we have some in stock for BioTrust. We're making another order today. So if that is you, especially if that is you, the belly trim is a great product, especially if that's where you feel like you carry it. I would suggest that you put your order in for that. And like I said, we have some in stock, but just make sure we have enough, and we're putting another order in today. Get it in quick. Let's see, what other questions? One of the other questions actually that came up, it was a good question from a member that said, could I be eating too much protein? And what is the right amount of protein? The right amount of protein is about 0.8. For you guys that are working out with us on a regular, consistent basis, you want 1 gram of protein per body pound. The question specifically was, could I be eating too much? And it's twofold. One, obviously, assuming that your body is otherwise healthy. We have a couple clients that have, pre-existing conditions with their kidneys, pancreas, or liver. Those are things that you need to discuss with your doctor and find out exactly what your protein requirements should be. But short of that, assuming that you're otherwise healthy, the protein requirements, if you're training with us, is about 1 gram of protein per body pound per day. Now, having said that, the question was, could I just be eating too much? So the answer is no. Like, even if you eat 1.5 grams, you're not going to explode. The difference or I think the fear that comes in is sometimes we hear about these stories about people eating excessive amounts of protein and like they had kidney failure. You can only do that, like I said, unless you have a pre-existing condition or you're eating ridiculous amounts of protein. Most of the biggest bodybuilders in the world do not even eat enough protein. They're eating a lot of protein. Some of them are eating 2 grams to 2.5 grams a day. That's still not enough to shut down your kidneys unless you already have issues. So don't worry about that. But it just comes back to the overall balance. The overall balance of how many calories am I getting in, and if you're eating too much. This particular person, I can tell you, is not, I'm sure. But I think that was it. And so then in terms of the nutrition too, again, it's so important to have the right balance. There can be a point in time where you do a lower carb type program, but if I'm working with you directly, because then you can't stay in that status for very long without your body shutting down. And then you need to be integrating carbs back in. Like, to give you an idea, I've gone, and I don't want to do that because I need you to reach out to me individually before I give you individual type guidelines, all right? I think that's it for now. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, and don't forget, we have tons of cool gear. This is one of them. Can you see? So this is the Bling Bella shirt, and it comes with this, like, racer back. I think you can see. So it's a little bit, it is kind of flowy. And so I think that sometimes people feel like that's not, like they want to be able to work out in it, and maybe that's not what they want to work out in. You definitely would want to wear a good bra top underneath. But we do have another tank that's really just the same style, but it's just or like same type things here, but it's fitted, so it's not flowy. And I meant to have a sample, and we somehow ended up using all of them. But it's the new tanks that we get for the mud runs, because obviously we don't want things flying around when we're flying around, right? And then the men's t-shirts are these are not t-shirts, and neither are these tank tops. These tank tops are the same brand that I've had for literally going on 4 years, and the quality is just really good. The price is the same, interestingly, whether it's the fitted tank or this is a Bella tank, the flowy tank. And personally, this Bella is a lot better material. And I think, and maybe it's because the other one we use in the mud run, but I'm thinking that this one is actually going to even hold up better. So that's just my 2 cents. But even the men's, even the t-shirts that we have for men and women, it is a difference. There's a cap sleeve t-shirt for the women. It's a really nice material. And the t-shirts for the men are as well. There's 2 versions of the t-shirt. There's the Tri-Blend t-shirt, which is like a really soft, and that's the one that Brandon is sporting around lately. And then there's kind of more a plain t-shirt, but again, it's the same price. 2 different makers, and that's probably why. So I'd go for this version. Either the men's, it's called Tri-Blend, because that's the type of material that it is, or the Bella Flowy tanks. Unless you don't like the flowy, then go with a plain old tank, and we're going to have tons of cute colors. They'll be cute anyway. So there's either the bling or the white logo. That's enough. Bye, guys.